Woo! Year of the Horse, let's go. I actually sent you the funniest horse meme for you to come home to this morning.
I
It's
have not seen anything.
yeah, no, it'll be a gift. Truly, the internet is a special place. As I was saying, this has been a crazy day. Like honestly, ever since the 222 portal, shit be moving quick.
What's happening?
Moving and grooving. Okay, no, no, no. I can tell that like part of you is like, it is Ari.
You know where I'm going with part of it.
I
I'm
know.
filling in gaps that I'm trying not to.
That one's moving slowly. We'll
Okay,
circle back
okay.
on that one, as we know it will. Ari, however, is moving very quickly. He provided best case scenario in that it's not built by us. It is built by them.
Okay.
Hence, you'll see an email shortly. I already sent it, but I'd imagine you haven't read it yet. It was a long
I saw
email.
something to them. I just didn't. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that seems like a not 6 o'clock in the morning kind of email.
Yeah. Super valid. Because obviously that is huge. We cannot be right robbing providers blind. But I trust him.
Yeah.
We're homies now. Yeah.
Are you guys homies or is he just in love with me?
Probably the latter.
Maybe a little bit of both. I haven't
Maybe
swooped
both.
in with any kind of good cop in a while, so I guess at this point he is just
Maybe
writing his love for
we're
you.
almost like edging him at this point.
Oh, should I just send
Like
him an
he's
email? Be
being
like, thinking of you.
I think he's being a good boy, like pending your validation as a
Yeah,
reward.
yeah.
But it's good that we withhold it because then he has to good
So,
boy for long.
oh my God, I would be such a good Dom. I just
I was
don't.
just gonna say,
You
you
think
don't what?
so?
I
Yeah,
know so.
yeah, I know. I just like the only, and I understand, like, I can already see the hilarity in what it is that I'm about to say, but it's like the only thing that holds me back from that is literally that it's just like it's so much power to have over someone, right? And it's like, and that's I know not that I shouldn't be afraid of that,
Hmm.
but I am fully I'm not afraid of it. It's that I'm just viscerally aware of how much power I actually have. And so being like having somebody put me in that position, it's like, oh no, we got the power, baby.
See,
Yeah. And I
that's
don't
how I've
love having
always
power over people. Like I don't, yeah,
beautiful.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're
Like I
you're a
don't
pure
enjoy
soul.
that.
That's kind of how I've always felt about being 6'4". Like if I
Are you
was
no,
six
you're not
four,
6'4". I
no.
was
No, I'm saying if I was 6'4", it would just
like
be
I
it
know
would
a
be
lot of
too
things
much
about you.
power. You're like 6'4" on Hinge or 6'4" in real life? Yeah, I'm
I've
6'4"
seen
on
you in
Hinge,
person before. I don't.
5'10" IRL. The Hinge tax, 6 inches.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh, I was reading
yeah.
something on Reddit yesterday where this guy said that when he was 19 and was like first seeing this girl that he liked, he wanted to appear taller. And they were walking through the woods. And so his like young brain decided that the way to like appear taller was just to take really long strides. Like if he pretended he had like really long legs, maybe she would think he was taller. And at some point she was just like, why are you walking like that? And then he realized how dumb he looked. It's just like, God, like it's such a like young brain thing to do to be like, one, need to be taller. Two, the way I'm gonna do that is just to like walk long. Maybe she
Yeah.
won't notice that I'm short if my legs are spread apart at all times. But yeah, 6'4"
People
would be a
go
lot of
to drastic measures. It would be too much power. Maybe in another life, not this one. Because then it would just
I
like that would be like life on easy mode, you know? There's no fun in that. I play FIFA on Legendary. I love the game, you know?
do it for the game. Um,
EA Sports to the game.
I the height thing with men is just something that I like will never, but I know that it's put a lot of it is put on by women. Like I don't I have never cared, right? Have we ever talked about my height blindness? That's a
Maybe?
term I invented, by the way. I don't know if it's real. But
No,
I
that, yeah, sure, we'll go with it.
literally, unless somebody is like legally like a small person or like
Hmm.
freakishly like tall to
Hmm.
the point where it's like, oh, you're probably like ducking through doorways. No concept. Like when you said you were 6'4", or if you were 6'4", I was like
You were like,
fully
huh.
ready to believe that. So basically, like anywhere between 5 foot and probably like 6'5", for me, everyone's the
Wow,
same height. Everyone's the same
that's
height.
crazy.
Every once in a while I'll have a moment where like I can obviously like think about it and then recognize it. It's not like I can't conceive of it. It just doesn't occur to me because I guess I just don't care. But yeah, like
Honestly, you are a short king's dream. You should share this methodology with the world. They will bow down to you. You will have so much power.
yeah, 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 there you go. Oh, yeah.
No, that is beautiful. Most definitely. The person I was talking about last week, clavicular, like one of these days you're gonna see an Instagram reel and you'll be like, oh, that's what he was talking about. It's basically like all of these terms, it's so dystopian. He's like a looks maxing influencer, so basically like does everything to become the best looking he can, but like by like bone smashing, like surgeries. Like he's already pretty tall, I think, and wants to do like leg lengthening surgeries as
Right,
well.
right.
Like the whole nine. And it's like he has amassed this following of people that are like on the looks maxing wave, I guess. I don't know. It's a whole thing, but it's like very deeply rooted, if I had to guess, in, insecurity. Because anyone that's like
You had
secure
to
and
guess.
if I don't want to
Had to
be
guess.
presumptuous here, this could be he's so confident and he just wants to be more confident. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh.
Doubtful, but non-zero chance that that's the
Right,
case.
right. But you're not in the guy's brain. We can't speculate.
Yeah,
But
we can't know. We cannot know. It could all be an act, and if so, it's a really good
right.
one because he's amassed a huge following, probably makes a ton of money. I mean, like anyone these days that amasses a huge following, the next thing is you monetize said following, you know? So people do it in like pretty heinous methods sometimes, but like to them, probably all publicity is good publicity.
That's
Um, yeah,
one of the
crazy.
things that like really started just like getting under my skin. I don't even know how many years ago, but when I really started thinking about like how, I don't know, just like how corruptible everything ends up being. But that idea, right? That it's like, okay, no matter why you start something, no matter how you start something, even if that guy literally was just like, I'm insecure, so I'm going to do these things to make myself feel better, and I'm going to document it online. But eventually, it grows to this thing where it's like, well, now you're the guy who's looks maxing, and now you're making
Yeah.
money, and that's your brand, and that's your thing, and so you can't. You're trapped in this thing. One, you're also like either I guess there's three options, right? It's either that you're so insecure and you're doing this because you're just like coming from that empty place within you that's like, maybe this will make me whole, but you're never going to be whole. But even if you become whole, if you hit that spot of being like, okay, I have maxed enough, I'm done. You can't be done because now this is what are you going to do? This is your whole thing. So you
That's your
can't like
bit.
walk away from that, right? And then if you do have that moment of realizing like, hey, maybe I'm actually harming other people by like pushing this narrative that like you should look or be different than how you are, again, like you can't, you're just like backed into this corner. or you're doing it literally nefariously from the get-go, and that's also completely, yeah, it's just, I don't know, like the niche and the branding and it's like it's always just been like, oh, this just feels like even if something starts in sincerity, it ends up derailing the second that like money and other interests and stuff get involved, because it's like, well, that power, yeah, like you're just in this invisible
Power.
trap with it. Uh-huh. And I don't love
That's a theme.
that
Yeah.
people, and yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy how early it can start these days too, because allegedly, and I say allegedly because I'm pretty sure there is debate as to his actual age. He's
mm,
allegedly like 19. He looks like my age, but says it's because he took some like growth hormone. I'm not in his brain. I don't know. I don't know. But if that's the case and he's 19 and I'm like, oh my God, like if I had started posting on social media at 19, I've changed so much since then. So like you said, like you're kind of locked into this persona. And so yeah, I mean the prefrontal lobe is gonna hit him like a truck, sadly. But I mean, honestly, there's worse things to do. I would wager that it's maybe worse to never post at all, to never like tap into something, like, do
right,
something and then learn from there. For me, like what I've landed on that is helping me to get out there is like everyone says not to do this, but I have such divergent interests that it's like I'm not going to post together with my RE content, my streaming content.
right.
That is a completely different audience. My streaming audience is like 14-year-old soccer players in the UK. And I don't think they're doing psychedelics. I don't want them to be, like I
You're not going to tap into that market, Kian?
we're not tapping into that
Are
market.
you a
We're
team
not.
player? Come on, get those kids on
There's
drugs.
there's no shareholder value there. So like, yeah, obviously I'm going to have a different platform for Ari than my streaming. And then even within just my personal endeavors, like streaming and flying my drone, very different audiences. And then like both of those versus just like sharing my soul through finer living, like so different. And so it's like this is what I've kind of landed on that helps me segment it. Um, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
No, it's funny, like that fragmentation of interest, right? Of being, of who we are, because like every human being has a million different facets, right? And that was something that for me, it was almost the opposite of what you said at the start of that, when you were like, just start posting, just start getting things out there, because at least it's something. Like for me, and this is just how my operations go, but I felt like to get I needed to come to like the complete understanding and acceptance of love, and love of every single one of those facets and pieces within myself, before I could start kind of like externalizing them and putting them out there, where I was like, I need to understand what this piece is within me,
Yeah.
and know that it fits, right? And know that it's part of the whole, but kind of understand how and where and why. And for a long time I was thinking that it would be like, well, I've got, my photography over here, and I've got my poetry over here, and I've got when I talk about this over there. But the message from the universe for years was literally just like, it is all of it. Like those words came in so hard all the time. And I was like, but how? Like, how can it be one place where it's like all of these things? And now I'm just like, oh yeah, no, like it's one place for all of these things. And if I'm on my, my personal podcast, obviously, like, the company Ari is separate from my own stuff, even though it's not, it's all part of the whole. Um, but yeah, it's like there are no limits or bounds. And I guess everything within me, the common denominator is that it's like me and my own story and heart and soul. So it's not quite like
Yeah.
the difference of being like playing FIFA and then talking about psychedelics, even though like there's a place that those, maybe not with your children, not with your children.
We'll circle back on that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I actually I have pondered like at one point when I started streaming, I was like, okay, like while I play FIFA, I could just talk about the things I actually care about. That would be if I was sane and played on like amateur or like semi-pro or professional or world class, like anything below legendary, I could play mindlessly and whoop the opposition, which I used to do when I first started streaming, but then everyone's like, "Oh, like go to legendary." Like, "Whoa." I was like, "Okay, fine." I initially didn't because I'm like that causes me so much anxiety. And now I'm like, you know what? I've got that dog in me, and we're finding a new word for anxiety. I'll keep you posted when we do. Perhaps ambition, drive, hunger,
Mm-mm.
TBD,
Tell
TBD.
me butterflies.
Um, yeah, yeah, something like that. Um,
I got
but
damn
now it's like,
butterflies in my tum tum.
yes. Now though, when I play FIFA, I am locked in. Like even if there's people on my stream, I'm like, "Yo, what's good? Like, let me focus real quick. I'll talk to you in a sec." So no psychedelic conversations on the streaming. Eventually, I do think like prior to FIFA was Pokemon. And I've even thought about like those are such different audiences too. Like
Yeah.
people that would watch me streaming Pokemon versus FIFA, still so different. But I cannot have two streaming accounts. That's where I draw the line. So it's gonna be one account. We'll cross that bridge when it comes. That is like soothing. That is where I like would perhaps talk about things other than FIFA, and like getting super happy or super enraged when I lose. But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe one day it all does converge. I mean,
Maybe.
time will tell. I mean, it truly does. There's no maybe there. It always will. So it's just a matter of when, I suppose.
One of my favorite things about your streaming universe is that like if I'm like 70% of the words that you use, I'm just like, like I have no like I know what FIFA is,
Hmm.
and that I know that people stream while they do the FIFA, and that's about as far as it goes. And I know
Hmm.
it's a very real, meaningful, important part of your world. For that reason, I love it. But whenever I'm just like, yeah, like whatever you're saying, I believe, because I have
I would
no concept of my own.
I would say it's real, but like of anything in my world, it's perhaps the least meaningful. And
Yeah,
I think that's why for like
it's
quite
so
some time
easy.
now, it's flowed the easiest because I just don't care. Except I saw someone from high school the other night. He's such a douche. And he's like, "Oh, I've been seeing you streaming," and it was just like so condescending. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna punch you in the face right now. I didn't, obviously, but like that kind of it like lit the fire of like, no, like FIFA is fun, but if I'm gonna post that, I also need to post who I actually am
Yeah,
to kind
yeah.
of like stabilize it. Like, no, I am not a streamer. That is something I do for fun. I actually, so progressively in time, my like Teams calendar used to be like any sane person from like 8 to 5. Like 8 a.m. is when the things start and 5 p.m. is when they end. It's not the case anymore.
Okay, sane
It
person.
is it is officially I think it's 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Monday through Friday of things.
Of what you have scheduled out for yourself.
Hmm.
Sorry, for a second I thought you meant you made your availability that for like working
No,
things,
no,
and I was
no.
like, I don't understand where you're going with this
No, 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 no,
conversation.
no, no.
Like, are you in India?
Unrelated
Like,
to Glaukos. This
no, I don't.
is so like it includes I mean, it includes everything I do, like wake up, like watch the sunrise, breath work,
Right,
affirmations. Like it includes beautiful things
right.
together with all of the, I mean, all of the things are beautiful. That's part of the beauty in it is that I'm merging work with play, and those are starting to merge. I created a new color on my calendar. I think I told you about
You
this.
did.
It's
They're like
teal.
tealy. Yeah.
hmm And that is like now I'm gauging like where I'm at by like how much teal there is. Like the more teal, the better. Also orange. Orange is like the things for me, the massages, that type of thing. So it's like with the way my brain works and my like actual bandwidth, like the time and energy I have, I simply have to do this. But like, yeah, today I went from it ending at 9 to now it ends at 10 because I needed to carve out more time to edit this after. And then now that Noah's program is like in person, we're gonna get like
Yeah.
dinner on Thursdays.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, more time. Um, but it feels good. Like I wouldn't have it any other way right now. I want to spend my time doing the things I'm passionate about. I am fully aware that like downtime is good. I would like to have more of it. For now, like that's my weekends. And then I like kind of schedule it throughout the day to the best of my ability, but um I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Once again, the yin and the yang of us.
Yeah.
It's
How
just
many hours of your day are scheduled?
I'm getting the massage at 9 a.m.
Let's
So that's scheduled.
go.
I've been doing an Ayurveda, a 5-day Ayurveda treatment. So every day at 9 a.m. I've been going to get like
Okay.
pummeled by an Indian woman. I had this call scheduled at 6:30.
hmm
Yeah. And other than that, I have nothing. I have a lot that I'm going to do today. None of it's on the calendar. You know what is so wild to me too is that like I don't know, just the way that we try to force ourselves to be who we aren't because somebody else told us that things are supposed to be the way that they are. And like for so long, I tried to force myself into the like, but you need structure and you need routine box. And sometimes I have needed a little bit of it, but genuinely, I'm like, yeah. I guess there is a lot of structure in my life, but it's not in a like scheduled way, like I just can't. And at some point, time completely fell away for me too. So I'm just like, I know that I have this massage at 9, but the time isn't.
That's what I'm honestly like aspiring towards. Like right now I am doing what I must, but in time I want to buy back my time, like the end state. I mean, there's no end state, but like the goal for me is like work equals play. There's no distinction. It's not like I'm like, oh, I have this meeting. Like, no, I get to have this meeting. I get to talk about my passion. I get to meet cool people whose passions are aligned. Like, I think at that point, it will all feel a bit different. And sure, like time exists and we need to be on calls at certain times, but I think it'll get to a point where I'm just like stacking calls, kind of what we've talked about, where it's like there will be a day for calls, and every other day is like creative flow state, visionary. Yeah, it's coming. I can feel it. The 222 portal was a portal, and I stepped into it. Affirmations have been working for me, and they've been, I've kind of learned don't even put it's a balance, like put something tangible, but don't put a number, especially with money, because like you can put a number and it'll be like, yeah, that you'll get it, but like leave the space for it to be more, you know? Because I look back on like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, fuck, 5 years ago, whenever I graduated college, um, undergrad, like the things I was manifesting back then, I still have my like 369 manifestation journal. I was manifesting like a specific amount of money at like any job that at that time like it sounded like so much money. It was like the amount that we've always been told we needed, the six figures
Mhm.
and you're set. And now I have that and like way more than that. Not way more, but like more than that. And it's not enough. and I know that that's like its own journey, but to
Right.
live in Southern California, it truly is not enough.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, especially as soon as you want to like support a family, like have a lifestyle of freedom, own a home. Jesus Christ, yeah. No, not enough. And so now it's like the journey of kind of like the gratitude. I made it here. This is where I thought I needed to be. And now the like awareness that like there is so much more in store for me. Like back then I wasn't even thinking about running a company as like, oh yeah, someone will pay me and I'll do that for the rest of my life and that'll be fine. Like, oh my God. No. No. Like even if I made all the money in the world, I wouldn't be content with that
Right.
life because
Right.
I'm here to build. And like luckily I am in the position to do so. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm grateful that you're by my side for it, Like let's do this. Life is energy. You get what you give.
Mhm.
Shout out Greg for that one. Um Greg was my Aries roommate. That was his quote. Yeah. He had little moments of wisdom, mostly moments of like craziness. Lots of Aries in my life. Noah's an Aries as well.
Me. I met an Aries
Hmm.
last night, April 12th. Yeah,
Maybe it's the like the fire to my air.
maybe.
I love to
You just
fan a
like stoke
flame.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I love to fit one of my coworkers, Aries, just comes in fired up every day. Could I be like the voice of reason? Sure. Is that what she wants? No. Is that what she needs? Not up to me to decide. So like what do? I fan the flame. You're coming in hot, I'm gonna match your vibe, and I'm gonna point out something else that we should be angry about. And we're gonna work it out together. We're gonna hit a boiling point, and then it's like it's when the fever breaks. Like you're
Yeah.
boiling hot, and then the bliss. We haven't arrived at the bliss yet, but one day we will. The orgastic green light will come. Yeah, and I'll keep you posted when it does.
Please do. Please do. I love when the bliss
Hmm.
arrives.
Oh, that's the other thing. I felt bliss today, very
That's good. That's
momentarily.
a very important
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah, no,
Let's talk about
rare,
it.
rare find for me. It's
I
like a,
know. That's something like when you tell me that like you about the actual internal space, I'm like, I want
yeah,
to just like hug you and yeah, 'cause I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of joy out there.
There is, and I felt it in the liminal space between sleep and the waking hours.
Mm,
I've like I literally schedule everything into my day. So I like sat on the deck in the sun, that was in my schedule to do. Just like anytime I sit, I think this is a testament to like how hard I am working, and this is not a flex. This is like a noted, and then when the time comes, like chill the fuck out. But anytime I sit without like stimulus or something to do, I will just fall asleep because my body's like, finally. My mind is like, holy shit, what is this? And I'm aware that is
yeah,
something that can, should, and will change.
yeah. I used to fall asleep, not to derail this moment, but I used to
Yeah.
like fall asleep in highly emotional situations.
Wow.
That's something I realized like on my healing journey these last few years is that like if in like and I mean like the most, the hardest relationship conversation or like, my when my dad had leukemia and we were going through all of that, like those conversations, I wouldn't actually fall asleep, but it was like everything in me not to. And I thought there was something wrong with me for so long. And then I realized one day that I'm like, oh no, my body was literally just like, we can't handle this. And the only way it was like my flight response was just like, what if we passed out and then maybe this won't be real? Which is
Interesting.
yeah. Sorry,
The
anyway,
body
so
is
you're falling.
crazy.
I know. And she tries to take such good care of me. She does take good care of me. And I take
She
good care of
does.
her. Yeah.
She does. Speaking of health, okay,
Wait, but
yeah.
you finished your bliss moment?
Oh, it was like, hmm. Yeah, it was the in between where like my mind was off, but my
Yeah,
consciousness was on. And so it reminiscent of like a psychedelic experience,
right.
maybe even like a near death experience. But that moment where it's like the mind as the like filtration system is not there, and so it's just like pure consciousness. And in that, there was no need for anything to procure bliss because it just
Mhm.
is. And we know
Exactly.
this. Like I know this. I've
Yeah.
done the spiritual. I haven't done the spiritual journey. I'm on the spiritual journey. I have the insights knowledge wise, and now it's a matter of like living them, feeling them. Um, and so yeah, it was like as simple as me in the sun with my thinking mind off. Like that was bliss. And there's so many vehicles to get there. Some are, I don't know, I guess more reliable than others, but at the end of the day, like the ones I want are the ones that come from inside,
Hmm.
like psychedelics, I think are this beautiful, they kind of like pull back the curtain and you can see it and you can like be there momentarily and experience it so that you know it exists. And you can always come back, you can always take more, but like that is not sustainable. That is not, in my opinion, the point,
Right.
because if I have to take a psychedelic every day the rest of my life to experience bliss, like, is that true bliss,
You haven't actually
Like,
done the work. Yeah.
yeah, like I want to experience it without it. I'm so grateful to psychedelics because they've shown me and shown so many other people that that's possible and that it can exist. But for me now, it's like, okay, how do I channel that within? Like breath work, affirmations, meditation, like the vehicles through my body and through my mind. Um, Mantras. It's funny, I've been using Ram Dass's mantra, the I am loving awareness, and when I do it,
Mm.
I like feel him. I feel him there or his presence, like that energy, and I'm like, okay, like I get it. Because imagine how many people, him aside, like how many people since then have spoken it, and like the energy field that that occupies.
Hmm.
It's a good one. It's a really good one.
Yeah, we love
I
Baba.
have,
I think I've told you this, but there's like no one that I have ever like followed or been like, I don't know, e- as far as like spiritual leaders or gurus or whatever, like no one has ever resonated with me. I've picked things up here and there, but I've never been like, oh, like that's the guy that, knows whatever. And Ram Dass is the one
mhm,
person where I'm just like, I listen to his podcast, his energy is whatever. Like I've never, is this true? Yeah, no, I've never read any of his books. I've skimmed Be Here Now, but like
yeah,
there's just something about him that has always spoken to me as like that guy actually got it in a way that I think a lot of other people that are like positioning themselves as people within
yeah,
a space. I'm like, I think that there's some energy here where it's a power thing, right? Where it's like you're saying some good stuff, and then
hmm.
there's also I'm just like I'm not picking it up. Um, but yeah, love a little Ram
I
D,
feel like, yeah, with him, it's like he strikes me as someone who integrated his shadow. And so, like,
Mm,
he is love because he loves all of himself. And so he can love all of others without any, like, hidden agenda, whether it's from, like, hiding it from others or from himself. Whereas a lot
right.
of spiritual people, I think, never integrate their shadow. And so then it controls them without them knowing or
Right.
accepting, or I guess there's so many layers, you never want to assume ill intent. I think sometimes people do know and they choose to carry on. And that's, yeah, part of the journey. You'll encounter those people.
That's something my friend AJ and I were talking about the other week when we were in Kodaikanal together. because he had just done this Zen meditation for a week. And in that meditation, one of the masters there was talking about like gifts and powers that get opened up. This is probably a whole separate conversation that we could have, but like
Yeah.
that the farther that you get down the, spiritual path, that eventually it's like you start unlocking these powers. Um Gifts, these things, that magic, all of that, but like the way that then when you realize what that is, some people are afraid of it, some people want to abuse it. Like there's so much, and everyone's, powers, whatever you want to call them, are different. But it's finding the balance of being like recognizing that, like, oh no, like these abilities, these things are within me, whatever they may be, but I'm using them for the liberation of all souls, and I'm not using them to get ahead or to put myself in a position of power over people or whatever that is. And that's, I think, where a lot of people who do get really high up in kind of like, guru or spiritual leader or whatever thought leader world, it's like, oh, somewhere along the line you did this, you're in that position because you hit a spot where you recognize some of that power, that magic, that whatever it is. But then it starts getting co-opted because, like we were talking about before, where it's like, well, you get to a certain level of notoriety or fame or power or like niche or whatever it is, and it's like, now maintaining that balance of like purity gets harder. um and especially once you realize, yeah, that you can kind of, I don't know, do or have whatever you want. It's like it takes a very grounded, true, pure soul to, Allah, in my opinion, Ramdas, who also, I mean, had plenty of like like you said, shadows. Like he was a human being. There were things that he did that were not perfect. But to be like, okay, no, like I'm reaching these planes, but the actual goal here, the actual path is human liberation, is liberation of all beings. It is not, you know, to have the house in Malibu with the cars and the whatever it is. Yeah. And in this human's humble opinion, I think that guy had that. And I
I
mean, he
think the
also had
like
like a
danger.
retreat space. Like he
Yeah,
lived on
yeah,
Maui, like it was beautiful. But yeah,
that's
like it
true.
wasn't, anyway. Sorry, you think the danger.
I think the danger is when, I mean, I'll use psychedelics as an example. Like if that's the route that someone takes to this knowledge, quote unquote, and they have this like ego death or ego disillusion, I think that oftentimes they think that that is permanent, and so they think after this they had this
Mm.
ego death or dissolution, and now they're acting from soul. But without them even knowing it, their ego came back 10 times stronger. I know it happens for me. When my ego dissolves, it comes back way stronger because it's like we just lost our grip on reality. Like we lost control. We gotta take it back. And so people, if they don't realize that that's happening, can act from ego
Mm.
and they think it's soul. They think it's source.
My
And that
internet's
is
going
danger.
funny. I don't
Because
know if
that's
you can
where
still
like
see me.
what is truly selfish, people mistake for
Okay.
being for the greater good. And again, there's different levels of awareness. Sometimes people, I think, know they're doing it, sometimes they don't.